Hi there and welcome back to another Boom Web Search Technology explanatory video. Today our topic is going to be to explain the Backstage view for PowerPoint and Word for these 2016 versions, and another objective which we have is going to be to explain basic text-based formatting which you can apply onto your Word and PowerPoint documents/files. We are going to be covering these two and more helpful tips and tricks to hopefully improve your understanding of Microsoft Office based products, because we're covering two, for instance, Word and PowerPoint, and the actual content section will be right there right after we roll out our short video introduction segment. Okay, so many of you have probably watched some of our previous videos on explaining Microsoft Word topics. So this is a very similar program also made by Microsoft, which is known as PowerPoint 2016 edition. And it contains a lot of features to help you edit and create presentable slides. So some of you may have the question, well, what's the difference between a Word document that I can just switch to landscape mode and a PowerPoint presentation? Well, you're going to have a lot more features to edit objects on your screen here. You're going to have visualizations, transitions, animations, so you can have your audience more engaged while they're watching it or listening to you present some information. And also it's gonna allow you some more features towards how you can edit your PowerPoint slides. So you can do grouping by certain topics. So as I have done here, I've had one for our closure and our video opening. So basically there's a lot more features, and that's why they decided to split it between Word for text-based documents and PowerPoint for presentation-based files. So the points were to explore the Backstage view. So on PowerPoint, if you look at the tabs at the top, you're going to go to the File tab, and that opens up the Backstage view for the given document. So here you have many other options. So if you go right into clicking the button, you will see the info section. So it's going to display your title for the document if you have changed it. So you're going to have the file route that the computer would use to get to your document. Then you can have some more options directly to do with the presentation. So you can protect your presentation with encryption, such as with the use of a password. You can inspect your presentation to edit out some data or things that would otherwise impact the ability to use this file with older versions of PowerPoint. You can manage the presentations, and there are certain auto saves that it does, so in the case you delete many things or you just want to go back, then you can do that. So there's related documents, and if you press show all properties, then it's going to open up all the properties here. So you can add text here, so that's gonna change the associated properties. So if I add text here, it's gonna change the status and so on. So you basically would click and type in whatever you want based on what property you want to edit, and the property would be changed. So only certain changes on the Backstage view are going to affect what you actually see on the document. That's mostly going to be things you change in the edit section. But the reason it's known as the backstage view is because in a show, if you're in the back of the stage, you're usually not going to see what's on the top, or like the front stage. So that's why they've broken it up. So if you notice, I said E because I wanted to emphasize that it's an online backstage, not an actual one. So it's a virtual backstage for your document. Certain edits warning will change what you see on the presentation, so make sure you're gonna save your presentations before you make changes that could potentially delete your data, especially with using the inspect tool. So new is going to allow you to change the template that your presentation is on. Open is going to allow you to open different projects in. Save will save the document. Save as will open the file explorer, which would let you customize the save location. Print would print out the document. Share, you can share the document basically using multiple methods sometimes. So you could publish it, present it online, email it. You can even save it to the cloud if you have the 365 subscription, or you could save it with other servers, and therefore people with access to the server could use your file, or you can email it to them, which is another way of sharing it. You can export the PowerPoint in another form. You can close the backstage view, so your account is going to be associated with your licensing with Microsoft, with the product key and your registration that comes with if you personally activated it or had it installed by an OEM. So that's also gonna impact your sign-in options. So if you signed in and you want to pull something from online, you can just pull it in and edit the content in, and then you could also share it, and then other people can have access. So the options feature is basically going to open up this dialog box. So there's general, proofing, save, language, and advanced. And customize the ribbon or access toolbar. So if you want to change the segment at the top, then you can do that. So there's add-ins, and then there's the Trust Center. So right off the bat, you can see that there's many options. You can easily change the theme here. Otherwise, it can be changed in certain places of the design. So if you go to the design tab, then you can change your theme. Although, if you want like basic theme changing, like you want to change it from colorful to dark gray or white, you can easily do that here. So that's an overview of the backstage with PowerPoint. On Microsoft Word 2016 edition, the backstage view is extremely similar, and they did this intentionally to show that the many similarities between their software and how it all works together, and that is going to help you with productivity. It's easier to memorize and vice versa. So we're going to start the backstage view. So this is going to tell you how you can start the backstage view and go through some of the features as I just did. So I'm going to read this text now. The backstage view is found using the File tab within Microsoft Word and contains many different options such as encrypting your presentation, inspecting it, Managing the presentation with retaining to the properties, settings, parentheses, which you would want to be able to edit and view if granted permission to do so as the editor of the document. If you are the primary owner, then you already have full control over the document. And you'll also notice a display of related dates and editors which are associated with a given file. There are some similarities of the Backstage view that is the same with Word / similar. And that's why I also said previously it's a good idea to make note of those changes and similarities so that you can easily memorize it throughout the programs. And also, they did this intentionally to be consistent across their platforms of Office packages for the 2016 edition, which include PowerPoint, Word, Access, etc. So now we're going to move on and explore the Backstage view quickly for Microsoft Word 2016 edition. Okay, so I've just now opened a brand new blank Word document. So I'm now going to go to the File tab, which is the same one as presented with the labeling in PowerPoint, and you're going to see pretty much the same options. Although what I would like to note is that when you click each of these options, the screens may look slightly different because this is a text editor and they want to pack in more features which are going to help you edit text. And there's going to be a few more options compared to PowerPoint, as in with the formatting of the text, what you can do in the Backstage view. Although they shouldn't be too hard if you really need to change something, and should be pretty self-explanatory. Although if you'd like to see me cover those in more specifics in a future video, then please let me know in the comment section. So now I will type some centered text on the first line of this page so that we can review the basic editing features presented for Word. Okay, so now I have some text which is centered on the page and which has its font size set to 15 and its font also changed. So basically we centered text on the first line, we changed the size and the font. So now I just triple click the text, which I've done so, and hover over the font drop down to see a list of many fonts. So if I wanted to change the font to Arial Black, I just click it and it should change on the screen. So if we wanted to change the color, we click the font color drop down menu and we can select a color. In this case I want the color green, so I'll select it from there. Also, if we wanted to change highlighting or add highlighting, we can scroll through a list of many colors for highlighting which can be applied by selecting it. Note one thing is that unlike the text where there's almost infinite solutions for how many colors you can integrate, they do only have so many listed colors to go through, and you can't add like custom color code. So if I highlighted it green, I wanted to turn it off, I can select it and then see no color. So if I also added some more text such as this, and I also wanted that highlighted, I can simply click this button to unhighlight it because it noticed that it was. So this would unhighlight everything, and if I select new, I can just click this, whoops, to green, and it'll bring it back to green. So if you already have some text selected and you want to turn it off, you can press it and it'll turn the feature off. So also if you wanted to reset this to original and clear all the formatting on it, you can press this clear all formatting function button and it will clear the formatting. So this is quite similar to the one presented in PowerPoint. And also another thing I'd like to note here is with changing the case. So if you wanted everything uppercase or lowercase, then you could change that, and these will up and lower your font size using increments of 2. So then you have bold, italics, and underline, and using the drop down menu you can select features like double underline, more underline, and changing the underline color. So that's how you can edit basic text features and properties of text that you've typed into Word. Now let's go back into PowerPoint and explain this same concept over there. Okay, so now we're back in PowerPoint and we have slide 3 selected as shown here. So if I wanted to change, let's say, this text on the screen, I couldn't instantly just go over to the font group and change it, because they're assuming there's going to be multiple elements and the computer's not going to know which one you want changed. So it's automatically disabled at first glance. Although if we select this text which we want edited, and we go over to font, we can scroll through and see how different fonts affect the text, and we can change it. Same thing with the size, and these buttons on the top 3 here are the same for Microsoft Word as I've explained, and so is the same for the bold, italics, and underline keys. Also, here is the font color to change, same as in the font color option setting in Word. Although the two main differences here, or 3 in fact, is going to be character spacing function, which is going to allow you to adjust the space between individual characters on your screen, and the text shadow function, which you can shadow text which you've already selected. Same thing with the dialog box launchers, they'll add more options which you can scroll through and edit. Although this is not advanced text formatting, and that's not one of our objectives specifically for this video. Although if you'd like to see that in maybe a future video, then please let me know in the comments below. I wanted to break these videos apart based on their topics, because maybe you just want to know about a specific topic, and that way you don't have to watch the overwhelming like hour or so of footage that would normally be present. If I did like one video that's like ultimate PowerPoint tutorial or ultimate Word tutorial. Although if that's the format that you'd like to see, then please let me know in the comment section. Also, another thing which I'd like to note is the tell me what you want to do function. So if I wanted to insert a header or footer, then I'd usually go to insert, the text subgroup, and click header and footer. Although if I just wanted to add a header and I didn't want to go over there, or I didn't remember it, then I could say add header, and it would bring me to this option to add a header and footer, slash footer actually. This is a really helpful tool, especially as you're learning as a beginner and need to change properties which you don't exactly remember at the moment. And there's a lot of functionality of Word and PowerPoint, Access, etc. And sometimes we don't remember all the features. So this feature here is really useful sometimes. Usually I have my slides in present mode and only screen capture that, although I wanted to show everything as I was doing it on the screen. Also, if you noticed, our thumbnail for this video was completely made using PowerPoint, just to show the potential that PowerPoint has. Although I think I'll end this video on that note. So thanks for watching. I hope that this information has been beneficial towards your understanding of the Backstage view on PowerPoint and Word, and towards your understanding of basic text editing tools on these software pieces. Please make sure that you have turned on your subscriptions to this channel, parentheses Boom Web Search, and have your bell notifications switched on so that you don't miss future content uploads. Note that you can't turn on your bell notifications without also having subscribed. So make sure you click the subscribe button, and to the right of that, then you should have the bell icon. If you have any future video suggestions pertaining to the topics of computer software, computer hardware, breaking down general tech related topics, etc., then please let me know in the comments below for this video. And any future video suggestions similar to this one are really appreciated. As always, thanks so much for watching this video, and I'll catch you in the next content upload / video. Bye!